Hi, I'm Kim, and you're watching Kim Wilson TV. My channel is dedicated to helping victims of narcissistic abuse get free and stay free. It's very early in the morning here in Camixto. As you can hear, the chickens and roosters are all just waking up. If you're just waking up to the reality that the person you're with is not the person you thought they were, and now you've come to YouTube and Google looking for answers, you're going to come across a very common list of characteristics, traits common to narcissistic personality disorder. But within that list, I also see a little deception, a bit of misinformation, and I want to clear some of that up today. What are those commonly published 9 traits associated with narcissistic personality disorder? All true. And if we have time in this video, I'll tell you a quick story about a recent interaction I had with a narcissist and how these very traits manifested in my brief relationship with them. My issue with this list is, well, first of all, this list can be used as a diagnostic tool once you are well into the relationship with the narcissist, just trying to keep your head above water, living on eggshells, living in the state of absolute horror. But once you're there, I mean, that's a whole different set of circumstances. What I want to talk about is obvious and observable character traits that you can use to spot a narcissist early on, to keep the thing out of your life, to not end up at the love bombing phase, because once you're there, you're just, on a slippery slope, heading straight for devaluing, discarding, and the party's on. So I think for anyone who has gotten free, but who has kept their heart, mind, and soul open to the possibility of a new relationship, we need to look at traits that are never mentioned that can keep us safe coming out of the gate. When people first meet, they tend to be on their best behavior, and that goes particularly for a narcissist because they have an agenda and they're trying to hide what they really are, and they're probably well seasoned at doing that. So it's unlikely on a first date that flawed character traits like grandiosity, self-importance, overinflated ego, an inability to care for other people are going to manifest on a first, second, or third date. These are things that the narcissist is well aware of, things that cause them to live in a shame-based reality, and these are not things that they're going to let leak out on a first date. So what can you expect to see that could be an early warning sign? I think it'd be very common on a first date, that there was an exchange of information. What do you like to do? What are your hobbies? Where do you like to vacation? What's your favorite music? What's your favorite food? What are your family dynamics like? Do you have siblings? I mean, this is all very common sort of, stuff on a first date. People trying to get to know each other. If you're in a get-to-know-you information exchange with someone and they are constantly replying to you with things like, yeah, me too, that's my favorite band. Japanese food? I love it. Absolutely my favorite. Oh, you like to go to beach destinations? That's what I always do. If you're getting this feedback that is absolutely in agreement and 100% on board with what you like to do, chances are this is a red flag, and I'll tell you why. The narcissist is void a unique personality. They're constantly morphing depending on who their target is, thus the creation of the false self. The way they create the false self is by mirroring you. And to mirror you, they have to get to know you. For example, when I first met what's-his-face, he had told me that Fleetwood Mac was his favorite band. I get to his house and he's got like 4 CDs in total, and they're all AC/DC. When I told him one of my favorite hobbies was gardening and seed saving. Well, of course, it was met with, oh my God, me too. I just love gardening. Now, of course, I get to his house the first time, and beyond what he had said to me, there was nothing observable or obvious about his interest in gardening, since there wasn't a single houseplant, and his yards front and back showed no indication whatsoever that gardening was a hobby of his. Yet he had told me, extreme importance to him. I'm not suggesting that one day you may meet someone who has a lot of shared interests. I mean, that can happen. But when you meet someone and out of the gate, they share your hobbies, your interests, your passion, your love of a particular music or band, and, the foods that you like to eat the most or the foods they like to eat the most, what they're doing is mimicking you. And they're trying to create a false self through mirroring to present back to you in a way that will lead you to believe that they are your soulmate. This is the creation of the false self and the false soulmate, and it is this that is so dangerous. I mean, why wouldn't you want to meet someone who is, interested in you? It's kind of flattering to have someone pay attention to you. It's kind of fabulous to find someone who shares your interests, hobbies, passions, likes to do the same things you do. But this is a trap. Like I said, it's not out of the realm of possibilities that you will meet someone that has a lot of shared interests and hobbies. But when someone is mimicking you, and you then take the next step to get to know them more, and what they've said to you is not observable and obvious, you're being lied to. Straight up, you're being lied to. And even if they are not narcissistic, they're liars. And you probably don't need that type of entity in your life. When you meet someone and they tell you things about their self beyond what they've said, these things should be observable and obvious. For example, I love animals. I have 2 dogs, I have 2 cats, and I have 3 chickens. The chickens are not livestock by any stretch of the imagination. They're my girls. They are my pets. You can actually see them in real time. They exist. Tell someone that I'm a jewelry designer and artist, that is observable and obvious if you step into my home or my studio, because the things required to execute those tasks are in abundance and everywhere around my studio. Someone that I'm a seed saver, that's very obvious when you come into my world, because, well, you can see my vast seed collection. If you bring seeds with you, we can do a seed exchange. When I say that plants are very important to me, well, let's see if I can turn this. I literally live in a tree. I mean, there are trees absolutely surrounding me everywhere. These things are very important to me. I love to be surrounded by the greenery. I grow things constantly. I grow tomatoes. I've got tons of fruit trees. Here on my property, I have papaya, I have guayabana, I've got jackfruit, we've got avocado, we've got Nancy, and the list goes on and on. These things are important to me, and when you step into my world, they are observable and obvious and present in my life. If someone has told you something about their self, but beyond them saying it, there is nothing that indicates that that's truthful or honest, chances are you're being lied to, and this should be the first warning sign. If you continue on with this person, though you now recognize you've been lied to, well, you're probably in for a hellish event. And I would suggest you just get the hell out of there right now, because pursuing anything beyond the lies is just, I mean, you're putting yourself in danger. Always go with your gut instinct. Your guts know best. Don't ignore your intuition. This is the thing that's going to help to keep you safe. Another thing I hear all the time is you shouldn't judge people. Well, if you're considering having someone in your home, in your bed, you're going to shower with them, you're going to eat across the table from them, you're going to let them around your beloved pets, your children, your family, you best be judging them, because, yeah, you have the right to do that. This is your life, and you have the right to protect yourself from evil. Anyways, guys, I hope this video has been helpful if you've just met someone new and you're questioning their motives. Anyways, I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. I love you guys lots, and I hope you're having a great narc-free day.